My M4, I never wanted to sell it. Honestly, I wish I never did. You guys, look what I just found. If you guys remember, this is my old E92 335. It's at the Colorado N5X shop right next to my M3, guys. I never thought that I would have these two cars together. The new owner just got a new exhaust on the car, so that's why he's at the shop. Let me know in the comments, do you guys like my E90 M3 better? Or did you like my E92 335 better? Both are beautiful cars, but I will say I like driving my E90 M3 just a little bit more. Always cool to see your old cars, especially with your new car.
A few minutes later.
Well, I was supposed to start my video 10 minutes ago, but the M3 decided to give me a flat tire, so we're gonna plug it up really fast and hopefully it works, because I don't feel like buying a new tire, so hopefully this works. Shout out to BMW though for having an air compressor with the car. I did not know my car had one of these, so I was very happy to see it. We got the tire pressure to 35 PSI, which means the plug worked. Thank goodness AutoZone was still open. Now, this has been a highly requested video, and honestly, I've been trying to make this video for a while now, and we're gonna talk about it today. We're gonna compare my M3 to my old beloved F82 M4, and we got a lot of things to talk about. So the reason why it's taken me this long to make this video is because I wanted to own the M3 for a couple months, modify it, really get to drive the car so I can better understand on how to compare this car to my old M4. Now, these two cars are not easy to compare because, to be completely honest, they are two very, very different cars. Now, a lot of you guys on my channel are F8X fans. You guys love the F80s, the F82s. I do too. Those cars are amazing. So that's why I really want to explain like what it's like going from one of those to an E90 M3, what I've noticed, which car I like more. And it's been interesting, not gonna lie. It's a crazy transition going from the M4 to this M3. Yeah, guys, obviously my M4 was the newer car, the quicker car. The more reliable car. I mean, that car looked amazing. It was always turning heads. But now that I own the E90 M3, there's definitely certain things in this car that the M4 is definitely slacking in. My E90 M3 feels like it has more of a soul. Like, I know that's a weird thing to say, but this car is raw. It's way more raw than my M4. The way the steering feels, the hydraulic steering in this E90 M3 compared to the electric steering in my M4 is a night and day difference. The M4 felt very numb, very loose, while in this car, you can feel the road, you can feel everything in it, and it feels stiff and planted. Now, the reason why it took a while to make this video is because this car was basically stock when I bought it, and comparing a stock E90 M3 to my heavily modified M4, I mean, it's not very fair. So now that I've been able to throw an exhaust on this thing and a couple other goodies, now I can really talk about the differences on it. Now, this V8 is amazing, guys. It is one of a kind. Obviously, it's the only M3 with this engine, and it truly gives you a whole different driving experience compared to my M4. When you reach the 84,000 red line in this car, it is a whole different experience. The way it revs out, the way you have to work for that power. It is so special. It truly is. Now, power to power, obviously the M4 takes the cake. That car with just a couple bolt-ons, you're already making close to 500 horsepower. This one is not very friendly when it comes to making power out of it. You can tune these engines, but honestly, you're not gonna get too much power out of it. The real way to make power out of this car is to supercharge it, but that's like between $6,000 to $12,000, which sucks because I would love to supercharge this car and feel what it's like making it a little bit quicker, but that's a lot of money, and the M4 was way cheaper when you wanted to make it a little bit quicker. Now, the exhaust difference is insane. This car sounds way better than my M4. Like, you don't even have to try. Even if you put like a crappy exhaust system on these cars, it's still gonna sound good. These engines are just legendary for the way they sound. The M4 sounded good, but let's be honest, it's a little bit of a fart can, and there's not much you can do for it. So, I mean, you can do the equal length mid pipes, but when it comes to sound, obviously the E90 M3 is gonna win. You just can't beat that V8. I actually daily drive this car, and one thing that I've noticed that's really bad is the MPG, guys. This thing burns through gas like nothing else. I swear I'm at the gas station every 2 to 3 days refilling the car up because it just doesn't hold a tank of gas very well. Now, my M4 was, of course, way more fuel efficient. That car wasn't gassing up every 2 days in it. While the E90, I mean, it's miles per gallon, right? At least you're enjoying every little bit of that gas you get, but then, yep, there you go. Got to go right back to the gas station. Now, when it comes down to the looks of these cars, it's hard to compare because this is a 4-door car. My M4 was a 2-door, but both cars are beautiful. I don't think I know a single person who says the E9X M3s are ugly, or even the F8X cars. Not too many people complain about the looks of these cars. Now, when you get into the G8X M3 and M4s, obviously there's a lot of controversy on the looks of those cars, but my M4 is beautiful, guys. I had it in that Yas Marina blue. It almost looked like an exotic car. It had newer looks, and I mean, that thing was just beautiful, but the E90 M3, right at this angle, it's so freaking wide. I mean, look at that rear fender. It's definitely wider than my M4, and yeah, I mean, it's just hard to compare both. When I had my E90 M3 and my M4 side by side, they both looked amazing, and honestly, it makes me wish that I could have both of these cars because they're just so great in their own ways. But I don't know, probably the M4, in my opinion, was the better looking car. So we have my girlfriend Alex here. Alex, tell the people, what do you think? Do you like the E90 M3 more, or do you like my M4 better? Which one was the better car?
I like the sound of this car more, but I like the M4 more in general because it's faster and it's gorgeous. Yeah,
that's a good answer. That's well put together. Like, the biggest factor with this car is the sound, but
and the handling.
Driving
it is nice.
Yeah, it feels more connected, right? It's like more of a raw experience when you drive this compared to the M4. So
this would probably be my favorite if it was a stick. That'd be cool.
Stick shift, that's true. This car would be sick in a stick shift, although the DCT in this car is really nice, the downshifting, and it also helps make up for these cars being slow. The DCT makes these cars a little bit quicker. One thing I do want to say, guys, is drive both cars, because when you drive both of these cars back to back, especially owning both of them now, you can truly see where one car shines and where the other doesn't. And with all of us being BMW enthusiasts, I think the dream setup is to have both of these cars in our garage. They both are one of the best generations of these M3s. And one day, I think I'm gonna do that. One day we'll get there. One day I'll have both cars in my garage, and that's gonna be a very happy day. So to wrap all of this up, guys, it is truly hard to compare both of these cars. My M4, I never wanted to sell it. Honestly, I wish I never did. That car was such a great car, but because I sold it, I was able to discover the E90 M3, which opened me up to a whole different side of BMW that I never got to experience. So now that I've been able to experience the E90 M3, I mean, the car is amazing. I really don't have that many complaints on it. But I guess what I'm trying to say, guys, is I want to own both of these cars. If I could get to the point in life where I'm able to financially buy another F82 M4 while keeping this car, I'm gonna do it, because now that I've owned the E90 M3, I don't want to sell it. Like, this car just, it's different, guys. It really is. And it's hard to portray that unless you guys actually drive the car and truly experience every aspect of it. But my M4 was, you know, some days I wish I had my M4, but other days I'm happy that I have this one over the M4. It's definitely a roller coaster of opinions on both cars. So this might be a tie. It might be a tie when it comes down to both of these cars. So now that I've broke down a couple points comparing both of these cars, comment down below what you guys would say. If you guys had to compare the M4 and the E9X M3, I mean, what do you guys have to say about it? I'm definitely curious on what you guys have to say. You know, it really is an interesting topic because both cars are just so different, but they're both M cars and they're both fun as hell to drive.